Good morning, everyone, from my book nook. Apologies if you can hear the heater running over here. It is a bit chilly inside the house. It's probably not too bad outside, but it's a gray day here in Florida, and I have to have the heater, and I've got all my cozy blankets that I'm going to snuggle under. But already this morning I have been catching up on some YouTube. If you've ever watched Haley in Bookland, she had been away for a while, and I just saw her video popped up of her being back, so I watched it, and I'm excited to see her back onto BookTube and hope she will have a good year. It's been a rough time for her, but I was catching up on some other, once you watch one YouTube video, you start watching others, and then I made the mistake of going on to Threads, which just always irritates me. I don't know why. This is why I'm supposed to be reducing my scrolling time and my screen time this year, is because it's not, it just irritates me and puts me in a bad mood. And it's a nice, lovely Sunday where I get to be at home and I get to be cozy and have a quiet day. I only need to get a few chores done. I definitely need to vacuum this floor, so I'm gonna vacuum this floor after I read a few pages, but I need to do a few chores, but other than that, I can just enjoy a nice quiet day. So I don't need to be going on to social media and riling myself, getting irritated about things. But I'm going to work on The Beast today, on politics. I've only made it a few more pages in since I said I was definitely going to get to this year. So I'm just now on page 71 at the beginning of a chapter. So I read a few more pages and realized it was the end of the chapter. Just kind of stopped there. But I'm going to work on that today. I figured out if I read about 20 pages, a little over 20 pages a week, then I can finish this year. And 20 pages is nothing. I can totally do that. So I'm definitely going to make that my priority today, just to get through that. And I'm looking forward to it. It's not just a job, it's a joy. So I'm gonna work on that, and I will see you in a little bit with hopefully a good progress update. All right, it's almost 1:30, and I haven't taken much of a break from my reading except to have a little lunch. But I made it to page 110. I finished chapter 3. So read about 40 pages. I think was a good amount, and I had shared a few days ago Jennifer Jelinkova's How to Read Big Books, and I remembered what she was saying while I was working on this, that she does put a bookmark in where I am. She does a overview of the table of contents to kind of see how to break up a big book like this one. And once I went through the table of contents, I realized Yeah, the chapters, other than a few sections that are like prefaces to each part, the chapters are like 30 to 40 pages each, and that feels like a good amount to read in one day. So yeah, it took me a little longer than I thought it would, but I believe that was because since I'm not super familiar with, I read the chapter about Aristotle, so I'm not super familiar with Aristotle. I haven't read his writings, so I know I've heard a few things before, but I just don't think they set in. So I was kind of going through, as I read each paragraph, was kind of absorbing what he was saying about them, and so that took me a little longer to try to understand it and then retain it. And also I started thinking about modern life and kind of wanting to argue with some of the points, as in like, I don't think that's the way it should be. But so that's what took me a little bit longer. So I could go on to read chapter 4, but I think I'm going to stop there for the day, because like I said, I didn't really take a break, and I still need to vacuum and do a couple, like some tidying and cleanup type chores that I usually like take breaks between. After I read a few pages of something, I'll take a break and go do like a chore, and then come back to it. But I felt like I wanted to read that chunk, that chapter, and it feels really good to have made that progress. But yeah, I think I'm going to pause it there because I want to start my Susanna Kearsley novel, which I forgot to bring over from the bookshelf, so let me go grab it. So this is it. I picked this up a few weeks ago at the library and filmed a library book haul where I mentioned that Susanna is one of my favorite authors. And I don't even fully know what this is about. It doesn't matter because I just see that she has a new book out and I pick it up. So let me read the blurb to you. It says, "It is the year 1613, and King James is sending his messenger, Andrew Logan, into Scotland with secret orders to arrest Sir David Murray, close friend and advisor of the late Prince Henry. Secrets are second nature to Andrew, who must hide his second sight to stay alive. Joined by a court scrivener and the scrivener's spirited daughter Phoebe, Andrew slowly untangles the true purpose of his mission to frame Sir David for Prince Henry's murder. But Andrew is unwilling to betray an innocent man." There's a little bit more there, but so that sounds like her type of book and sounds really interesting, intriguing, and I think the rest of my afternoon is going to be spent getting started on this. So it's been a very successful reading weekend. I can't believe I read so much on politics that I made it through like 40 pages, and it doesn't look like much, but since the bookmark had been like there for about a year, that is actually pretty good. And now after looking over the table of contents and realizing, I can just read a chapter one day on the weekend when I have a good amount of time set aside, which I usually try to do. And this should totally be doable. It would take the whole year, but I can do it. So that feels really good. And I really enjoyed reading the chapter 3, and I'm looking forward to moving through the rest of the book. So I hope you had a good weekend of reading as well, and maybe a good weekend of getting out and walking, getting some exercise, or doing whatever else you love, your hobbies. If you want to share that in the comments below, I'd love to hear how you're doing, whether it's on your Historathon or if you're reading some fiction or you're listening to some good audiobooks. Let me know and share it with everybody down below. It was great to see you today. I appreciate you stopping in to say hi and watching my video, and I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.